The following presentation is made possible by the Foundation for the Preservation of Cultural Heritage and Nature and the Nsibidi Institute for Culture and Memory, dedicated to safeguarding the echoes of Africa's past for the generations of tomorrow.
Long before the first European ships anchored off the shores of Nigeria, the rhythmic pulse of our villages was accompanied by a deeply rooted tradition. Our ancestors were pioneers of an ancient craft, distilling their own local gin. But history took a turn. When the British arrived, they saw a thriving local industry that threatened their own commerce. They labeled our ancestral craft illicit gin and actively disbanded local distilleries. Their motive was simple: to clear the market so they could sell us imported London dry gin, spirits that were often of lower quality, mass-produced, and disconnected from the land. But a tradition passed down through generations cannot be so easily erased. The secret to the true African spirit begins high above the ground. While industrial gins rely on processed grains and synthetic ethanol, our gin is born directly from the earth. It begins as pure, freshly tapped palm wine. Sweet, natural, and rich in indigenous yeast, the palm wine ferments naturally under the African sun, preparing itself for transformation. Deep in the heart of Obudu, the Ibong people are the proud custodians of this art, renowned for distilling some of the finest gin in Nigeria. And at the helm of this meticulous craft are the women. With hands that know the exact ratio of earth to water, they seal the handmade clay pots with mud. This crucial step ensures that none of the precious alcoholic vapor escapes during the boiling process. This is a triumph of traditional engineering. Inside the main clay pot, the fermented palm wine is brought to a boil over an open wood fire. As the liquid heats, the alcohol turns into vapor and travels down the sealed pipes. But to turn that vapor back into a pure spirit, it must be cooled quickly. Here, fresh cold water is poured into a secondary chamber. It's an unbroken cycle of heat and cold, fire and water, overseen with intense patience. As the water in the cooling chamber absorbs the heat from the vapor, it warms up and must be continuously replaced by the distiller. It is a labor-intensive process that demands constant attention. One moment of neglect, one drop in temperature, and the entire batch could be ruined. There are no automated dials here, only intuition and experience. The reward for this patience is collected one drop at a time. Slowly, the vapor condenses and drips down into waiting bottles. This is the finished spirit, crystal clear, potent, and exceptionally smooth. It may not come in fancy packaging, and it isn't backed by million-dollar global marketing. But it doesn't need to be. This is our own African product, sourced from our own palms, nurtured by our soil, and crafted with zero chemicals or additives. It is the pure, unyielding spirit of our people. This film was proudly brought to you by the Foundation for the Preservation of Cultural Heritage and Nature and the Nsibidi Institute for Culture and Memory.